Hello, 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 and happy Friday. I just wanted to take a few minutes and go live. I just finished earlier and I'm still so high off of it. I just finished a speaking engagement as part of a warm up series that Ashley Kirkwood, who many of you know is my coach, is doing to gear up for her live event this October, Speak Your Way to Cash Live. And one of the things that she's doing, and why this is important, is she's doing a expert warm-up series. So the theme of this year's conference is Olympic cathletes. And so she's doing a warm-up series in which different people who will be speaking on the stage at the event are able to share some information with ticket holders prior to the actual event. So they're actually, you getting your bang for your buck. Okay. And so today I was able to share how you can go from the spotlight to scalability and how you systematize your business so you can sustain the stage. And so I wanted to take a few minutes and just kind of like share some of those key points because those are some of the things that we've been talking about here. And also, because I am going to be speaking at the event, I wanted to make sure that if you don't have a ticket, you need to get a ticket because the event is almost sold out. So you can get a ticket at www.speakyourwaytocashlive.com. And it's also below in the caption. But what we were talking about today, and I wanted to just like high level be able to share this because I believe that if you go ahead and you get your ticket, you will be able to get this full series, not only what I'm doing today, but there's someone scheduled. There's people scheduled for quite a few weeks up until the event, which is October 2nd through the 4th in Atlanta, Georgia. So what I talked about is that it's wonderful to have speaking engagements, but know that your speaking engagement is just the first step. Just like I tell you with all other things, your business has a back end. Well, if you're a speaker and you want to be a speaker CEO, we always talk about the shift from chief everything officer to visionary CEO. Today, I kind of addressed how you need to switch. You need to make sure that you're not just a speaker, but you're a speaker CEO. And in being a speaker CEO and making sure that you have sustainability, you need to make sure that visibility, you understand visibility is only one part of that equation. Okay. And so I'm not going to go into all the details because, baby, you should have been there and I ain't going to tell no story. Baby, I'm a little tired because that was everything. It was everything. But I did want to just take a moment and share with you the 3-step strategy because it was so important. And I feel like so many of you need this. And so, again, the first step, real quick, is going to be that you focus on your zone of genius. Okay? Focus on your zone of genius. Not every task requires that you do it. Okay? So, focus on those things that you need to be doing as a speaker. And long story short, what are those things? You need to be focused on making sure that your speech or your talk is all that it needs to be. You need to make sure that you are showing up, giving high value presentations. You need to make sure that you're making this, you're creating relationships with decision makers. You don't need to be trying to make sure that you got your follow-up emails in place and you got your opt-in pages and how should you convert and all of that. Your goal is to make sure that you are showing up as the expert that you are. Okay. And so I went into some detail about how you could do that. And then the second step of the strategy is, as with all things, you want to create a plan to do everything more effectively and efficiently. Okay. Or as I like to say, easier and better. Just because you're not focusing on those things that you have no business doing doesn't mean that you get to ignore them. What it means is you have to systematize them. Okay. So first you want to identify where your brilliance lives and you want to operate in that zone. But then next you want to create a plan to do everything else. So there's a lot that goes on when you speak. You need to make sure that you follow up with your leads. You need to make sure that you have a lead magnet, that you're sending out an email sequence after the fact, because this market has grown in such a way that whatever you do, it's some more people who do the same thing. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you get out ahead of it and that you are creating relationship. This is not a transaction-based world anymore. It's about relationship. So you want to be able to build that know, like, trust factor. You want to stay top of mind. You want to make sure that you have a way to be able to communicate with people even after you get off the stage. All right. So the second step is to create a plan to do everything else easier and better. And the way that I describe that is just like with your business, because I talk, as CEOs all the time. Your back end, that's the engine. Okay. You can have the shiniest, prettiest car out in the driveway, but if you don't have an engine, you're not going anywhere. You might as well just put that bad boy up on cinder blocks and sell tickets for people to look at it, because it's not going anywhere. It's not doing anything. Okay. So your back end is the engine. That's what allows you to be able to go and do. Because what you want to do when you speak is you not only want people to remember who you are, but you want to let them know what the next step is and how they can take action. Okay. And then third, you want to lead the business behind the mic. Know that from the moment you walk off the stage, that's the end of that speaking engagement, but that's actually where your business starts. Okay. You want to make sure that your speaking engagements are tied to some type of something that you offer people. Do you have a coaching program? Do you have workshops? Do you have some type of problem you solve, some type of transformation that speaking is a lead magnet. That's the simplest way to say it. Speaking is your lead magnet. So then do you have all of the things in place to support that lead magnet so that you can then provide that offer or that solution that you give to your clients? Okay. But just know that where the mic drops is where your legacy begins, and your business needs to be ready to step up and step inside. As a speaker CEO, you need to make sure you're doing all of the same things that a CEO does in their business. You want to set the strategy. You want to determine the vision. You want to know what's working, what's not working. Make sure you know how to read your metrics. You want to make sure that you are reviewing what's going on and making tweaks where needed, as needed. Okay. Basically, the way that I said it today is that you want to let your systems carry the spotlight when you step off the stage. Let your systems carry the spotlight when you step off the stage. And the question that I'm going to ask you is the same question that I asked them. Many times we get up, we do these speaking engagements. It's awesome. It's amazing. But are you treating your speaking as a moment or as momentum? Are you just getting up in the moment like a preacher and some preachers, and you just getting the people all hype and leaving them warm and fuzzy? Or are you providing them with direction and showing them which way to go so they can get what they need next? All right. So the key takeaway is that speaking is a gateway. Speaking is great. Speaking is visibility. But systems are what sustain it. Systems allow you to go from visible to viable. Okay? So you don't just need a mic and a message. You need the infrastructure that's going to allow that stage to keep working long after you stepped off of it. All right? So 3 steps are: 1, you want to focus on the tasks that showcase your brilliance. All right? The things that only you can do. Okay? 2, you want to create a plan to do everything else easier and better. Y'all know that's where my biz besties come in. Systematize, automate, and delegate. And 3rd, you then need to lead the business that's behind the mic. Applause is for a moment, but your business is a legacy when you do it right. All right? So if you found this interesting, if you found this helpful, wait a minute, I know it's interesting, but if you found this helpful, again, this is part of the expert warm-up series for a fabulous event that I'm so excited not only to attend, but to be speaking from the stage from the Speak Your Way to Cash Live conference that's going to run October 2nd through the 4th in Atlanta, Georgia this year. Tickets are almost sold out. The hotel has been sold out a few different times. You want to get your ticket at www.speakyyourwaytocashlive.com. The link is down in the chat, in the description. You definitely don't want to miss being in this room. If you have never been I've been to many different conferences as a federal employee, as a preacher kid, as a business owner. I've been to many, many, many live conferences and events. But I'm telling you, An Ashley Kirkwood event is in my top 3. Okay. When I went last year, baby, you couldn't tell me nothing. I came home. I was energized. I was revived, and I was ready to go. I had a strategy and I put it in action. That was the best thing that I could have did. One of the best first things that I could have did when I officially retired. My business would not be where it is today and where it's headed tomorrow if I had not made that decision. So if you are a speaker, if you are a business owner, if you are an expert, if you have a 9 to 5 and you want to grow in your career, there's going to be so much that's going to go on there. You do not want to miss this. I promise you. You do not want to miss this. So please join us. We're having a fabulous time. And if you go ahead and get your ticket today, not only do you get to come to the event in October, but just like I did a summit today, there's summits that are planned. I think they're weekly up until the event, where other people who are going to hit the stage, other phenomenal business women and men are going to hit the stage and be able to share some things with you that you can put in place before you even get there. All right. So it's been great. Again, www.speakyourwaytocashlive.com. Get your ticket today. It's almost sold out. You do not want to miss this. I thank you for showing up. I thank you for tuning in. And again, make sure that your back end is in alignment with what your business is doing. Don't allow the stage to just be a moment of visibility. Make sure that you are creating a place from where your platform can grow, your business can grow. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.